There was a time when Toronto, Ontario, Canada was the center of the baseball universe. I know, tough to imagine, right? But hop in your DeLorean and gun it to 88 miles an hour, because with the Blue Jays attempting to go back to the future, we check out when the flux capacitor was in full flex north of the border. The Blue Jays became a franchise of the Seattle Mariners in 1977. Lean years followed before the vaunted best outfield in baseball in the mid-'80s. George Bell, Lloyd Moseby, and Jesse Barfield. Dave Steve was the second winningest pitcher of the 80s with a vintage wipeout slider. Toronto enjoyed AL East titles in 1985, 1989, and 1991 before some free agent moves paid big dividends. Dave Winfield signed a one-year, $2.3 million deal in December of 1991, and the 40-year-old had 26 home runs and 108 RBI, his best numbers in 4 years. And Pat Gillick, derisively referred to as Stan Pat for his obstinate refusal to make major transactions, brought in Jack Morris for a 2-year, $10.85 million deal. The winningest pitcher of the 80s, fresh off winning a World Series, brought his forkball, his mustache, and sage wisdom to the club as the Jays made history in 1992.
Timlin. Nixon bunts. Timlin on it. Throws to first. For the first time in history, the World Championship banner will fly north of the border. The Toronto Blue Jays are baseball's best in 1992.
So what's better than winning one World Series? Bartender, pour me another. Another big game pitcher was signed in December of 1992, Dave Stewart. Stu, now a grizzled vet at 36, was an innings eater who was named the 1993 ALCS MVP. And one more late career gamble paid off. Paul Molitor, who finished second in AL MVP voting in 1993. The offense went by the acronym WHAMCO: White, Alomar, Molitor, Carter, and Olerud, bludgeoning opposing pitching. Blue Jays back in the World Series, second verse, same as the first.
Here's the pitch on the way, a swing and a belt, left field, way back, Blue Jays win it! The Blue Jays are World Series champions as Joe Carter hits a 3-run home run in the 9th inning, and the Blue Jays have repeated as World Series champions. Touch them all, Joe. You'll never hit a bigger home run in your life.
The Hall of Famer Tom Cheek. Now, the Blue Jays weren't able to repeat that stellar success, but other free agent pitcher signings paid off, including Red Sox nemesis Roger Clemens. Written off as being in the twilight of his career, the Rocket signed for 4 years and $40 million and won the Cy Young Award in 2 seasons in Toronto before a trade to the Yankees. Speaking of the Yankees, A.J. Burnett wound up in the Bronx, but not before signing a 5-year, $55 million contract and winning 38 games from 06 to 08. As the Blue Jays appear poised to hop back in the saddle of being spenders and contenders again, it would be wise to also point out the duds over the years. Corey Koski was inked to a 3-year, $17 million contract to make up for the loss of Carlos Delgado, but was jettisoned in Milwaukee after one injury-plagued season in Toronto, the only below-league average hitting season of his career. And long before Liam Hendriks proved to us that closers could close a deal on big contracts, B.J. Ryan was given the highest contract ever for a reliever at the time. After an all-star selection in his first season of a 5-year, $47 million deal, the lefty pitched just 83 innings over the final 4 years of the contract. Lastly, there's Russell Coltrane Martin. It was a love supreme that brought the Canadian back to his home and native land, but $82 million over 5 years was not well spent. The catcher was a solid contributor for the first 2 years, but by the end, he was hurt, and for the next 2 years sent to the Dodgers in January 2019. Clearly, Mike Shapiro has an exciting young core with which to work with. And Mark knows this: the hard part is reeling in the big fish that will take this team to the next level.